remind us how you ended up getting at Penn State late in the game, kind of Franklin comes in. Could you take us through that process, and what was it like for you knowing that your mom went to Penn State and for them to get involved with you?
Yeah, so I've been committed to Vanderbilt for a little bit before my senior season. And when Coach Franklin got the opportunity to come to Penn State, he asked me to come up for a visit. Immediately said yes, because I knew my mom went to Penn State. Kind of grew up watching Penn State football all the time because she's such a diehard fan. So getting a chance to come up here was very special to me and her. And when I got here, one of the first things I saw was the stadium lights, and that really was like the defining moment for me. And I just kind of fell in love. I knew the alumni was a great organization, and it was just really exciting.
Great. Coach Franklin just compared John Reed to you a little bit in terms of dedication and the intensity that you bring to the field. Can you speak about that switch that you flip on, if you do in fact flip on a switch when you step onto the field?
Yeah, I think that's a great comparison. Everyone always talks about that because we're both quiet guys, we both keep to ourselves. But then when we get on the field, it's like this whole other person comes out of us. We have this drive to just make the team better and do what we need to do to make ourselves better and really help individuals out too.
You really made a name for yourself last year, early returning kicks. Do you miss doing that? And I guess how do you feel like that endeared you to the coaching staff and to allow them to let you have a bigger role?
I think any opportunity of getting on the field and proving yourself is a great one. I mean, I love playing special teams last year. I love doing it this year as well. And I think, that really gave me what the atmosphere like of playing in college football was like. So I think that geared me towards the position I am in today.
Hey Graham, I know you talked about your friendship with John Reed, but how did you feel he played in your absence, and what do you think of his potential?
I think he did great. I was very proud of him. He came to me with questions each and every day. I mean, he loved watching film, and we watch film together on a good basis. And with him in the future, I think he's going to be a great player. I mean, he's got the desire and drive to play, and he just wants to make him and everyone else around him better.
Anything else for Grant?
You've described yourself as somebody who kind of keeps to himself. Playing with a guy like Brandon Bell, who's kind of out there with his emotions, has that helped you kind of open up and kind of get into the swing of things in terms of college life, playing football, all that stuff?
Yeah, I think we all bring out different sides of each other. I know you said I was quiet, and B-Bell, he's an energy guy, and I kind of feed my energy off of him, to get excited for the games. And like you saw on Saturday night, he was jumping up and dancing around. It's hard not to just start jumping up and dancing around with him because, everyone else is having fun out there. We all just want to have fun together.
Coach Franklin, Coach Franklin said that there are a lot of cool things, a lot of neat things about you. What are some of those things, in your opinion, if you want to talk about yourself a little bit, to people that might be interested in following your career from here on out?
I think something about me that's interesting is I'm a guy that I love school. Just my family and the background that they came from. School has always been a big part of our family. I went to private school. They really drived me, was academics first. And that was one of the reasons I chose the schools that I chose during the recruiting process.
Okay, works. So what are you studying then, and what did you say both your parents went to med school?
Yes, they did. They both went to med schools. They're both doctors. My mom is a pediatrician in internal medicine, and my dad is actually the chief of emergency, the ER at Grady Hospital in Atlanta. And so that was just, I don't want to be a doctor, because I know how much school that takes.
Yeah.
But right now I'm studying broadcast and journalism with a minor in business.
Fantastic entrance as always, Chris.
Thank you, I appreciate
We
it.
now have sophomore wide receiver Chris Godwin. Open up to questions.
Hey Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm fine, thanks. Just curious, there's been a lot of talk about Saquon Barkley, obviously, in the first few weeks. You know, what has he shown you at practice? And we've seen some of his runs. What's the most impressed you've been with Saquon? You know, whether it was a play, a certain practice, since he's gotten on campus?
Honestly, I think with Saquon, I kind of noticed like when he first got on campus that he was going to be pretty special. You know, just like watching him, he's about 220 pounds, about 5'10". He's a well-built kid. But I mean, and then I think the first workout I saw him start running, and he runs a 4.4, and so he's pretty fast as well. And then you throw him the ball and he can catch. So I mean, I think he's a whole package. I think that was the time that I realized that he was the real deal.
How soon was that into him being on campus? Was it a week?
I think it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks into him being on campus.
To follow up on that, when you see defensive backs, linebackers, defensive linemen whiffing on tackles, again, trying to take him down, what does that do for you when maybe you're tasked a couple plays later to block some of these guys downfield? Do you sense these guys are a little bit worn out from whiffing and rolling around on the ground, having missed a tackle on it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the fact that we're able to have running backs like Saquon and Akil pounding at the defensive linemen and the linebackers and things like that, I think it helps us going down the line with our passing game. It definitely opens up the passing game and kind of wears them down throughout the game.
I'm still impressed by the entrance, Chris. So when did you get that? And I mean, do you get around campus all that? Or what do you do with it?
I got that actually about a month ago, and then I use it to go to class and get around campus all the time. It takes on like about 2 to 3 hours of charge, and it lasts me all day. And so I mean,
Really?
it's pretty useful to get around. It kind of saves my legs for practice and for the game and things like that.
Then your other teammates have them, or you the only guy?
I'm actually the only one right now, but I know of a couple guys that are like really intrigued by it and looking to get one.
Okay.
Just curious, what kind of route tree is that thing capable of?
I wish it could run routes, or help me run routes.
Anything else for Chris? All right. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.